Hey everyone, welcome to this video. This is gonna be a chess video. I hope you saw my messages on the YouTube channel that basically concerned two bridge results. First, I totally messed up the weekly instant tournament. It was like 32%, but then I managed to beat Jimmy Kane's team. Well, not I, yeah, we. But I was on the winning team, so we won by 7 imps. This is pretty cool. This will be a chess video, however, and let's check what I did. So I played on Monday and on Tuesday. So another one of these stupid double rounds, which is can be fairly problematic. But let's see how I managed. So here I am playing on board 8 on 1.5 points. This is round 4, so it's not altogether bad. And I'm playing against Christian Dornbluth, one of the best players of our club. He's actually the team captain of the first team. He doesn't have a great season, but he's still, yeah, let's face it, he's better than me. And this is the last round of this local individual tournament. I'm playing against Rolf Moisal. So this happened last night, basically, and let's see what happened. So this is against the team captain. I have black. He played d4, and I decided on playing something that I haven't played in a long time, but I just decided in the last moment to play the Grunfeld. So there are many variations. Let's not get into it too much. He went for the Russian system, knight f3, bishop g7, queen b3. I took, he took, I castled, he played e4, and I played knight a6, which is actually what I recently learned. It's actually quite cool, quite an interesting line. I have to look at my cheat sheet a bit, but so queen takes c4. Normal line is here bishop e2. I will show you what he actually played, queen b3. So if he doesn't want to do that, he can play bishop e2, c5, and then it goes on d5, e6. I don't actually know this line very well, but it goes on something like this. And you can see that basically with this knight a6 move I managed to support this pawn on c5, which provoked him into playing d5, and now all of my pieces are quite fine, with the possible exception of this knight, but it's also not that bad. So as opposed to this, actually what he did was bishop e2, knight a6, queen b3 is what he played, queen b3. Again, I just played c5. If he takes my knight, I can take on d4, and it's actually a good position for me. So d5 is kind of forced, and now I can just revert to the normal thing. e6 in this case, however, the whole idea of queen b3 is to take this knight. I took, he castled, and now takes, and it's time to kind of take stock. So what's up here? He gave up a bishop for this pawn, for this pawn structure, let's say. His d5 pawn is very well defended. It's not really a question of me winning it anytime soon. On the other hand, I have very free development, and this bishop is a monster here, right? It kind of like goes over this whole diagonal. And whenever he moves the knight, b2 will kind of be hanging, or if he moves the bishop, rather, it's kind of the same story. The b file will be a good file for me. I have two bishops in a very open position. So this is actually theory, kind of, and it's supposed to be good for both sides, basically. But I think it's a very nice position for black. Bishop f5. Is quite fine, and now he played queen c4. Queen c4 is actually has been played before, and now I can show you what one example of a game. It was actually no. Yeah, so queen. Anyway, I can't really find it now, but actually, so he's attacking two pawns, right? C5 and A6. But on the other hand, like if you just think about what he did, so he played queen b3, queen c4, queen b3, and now he played queen c4 again. So this can't be a good move. It has been played by a grandmaster, so maybe I shouldn't be so dismissive. But I mean, it's also like just to give you an idea, and of course I didn't know all of this theory. This was actually Alexander Kalifman, which is a very famous Russian guy. He just played very simple move, queen b3, queen b6, kind of looking at b2, and now white saw nothing better. Like I can play maybe like rook to d8, one of the rooks to d8, then also this knight moving somewhere, opening up both the bishops. b1 is covered, c3 is under pressure. So actually white just played bishop e3, queen b2, rook c1. I mean these are kind of complicated situations, but knight d7, knight a4. So of course c5 is gonna hang very soon, queen b5, and now white decided to trade here. It was, I think, both of these guys are grandmasters. So Gagunashvili Merab versus Alexander Kalifman. So he took and I don't know, it doesn't really matter. It was a draw very quickly after this. They played for about 14 more moves, so d6, knight c4, and you can see what's going on. So this pawn is kind of pushing, but these two bishops are really nice. I mean, I think if anybody's better, it should be black, I guess. Yeah, the computer thinks it's equal, but I mean, I very much enjoy playing this position as black. Of course, white has a nice pawn here, but I don't know how easy it is to hang on to it. So all this, we can go back a bit. So what's up here? He took, castle takes here. Queen c4. I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna ignore both of these pawns. Rook b8. So actually I decided to sacrifice something here. I just said I'm just gonna play as actively as possible. It's actually not a bad move, so the bad move is coming in a second, don't worry. But so for example, if he I mean, I can show you also the engine here just for simplicity. No, not this, but rather should be a button here somewhere. Queen b8, yes, and then this should, oh yeah, this one, okay. Rook b8. So rook b8, actually, yeah, knight e5 is also what my computer said. So let's say if he were to take this one, for example, then I have immediately I have ideas like this. Knight d4, both of my bishops again are totally open. I can always get some kind of play here. So let's say this, yeah, this already wins the rook, I think. Doesn't it win the rook? Ah, no, because he has bishop h6. But I mean, you can see that it's activating a lot. So let's say he takes this one instead. Again, yeah, knight e4. And what exactly are you gonna do? If you ever take, then I can just take this, and again, yeah, all of these pawns are under attack, right? d5 is under attack, b2 is under attack. The rook doesn't have a square. This is a very good position for me. So, this rook b8 was an interesting move. I found it, obviously, I found it over the board. Rook b8. Rook b8. I don't know how do I promote variation. Yes, rook b8. He didn't take. Yeah, he just decided on playing a little bit passively a3, and now I should just actually what I did is also not bad. Pretty sure. So queen a5 now, and yeah, now already you see what's going on. Knight e5 is an idea. Knight e5 jumping into c6. As far as I know, it's actually not that dangerous yet, so I think this is a bit misguided from what I remember. a3, so actually it just says rook e8 taking over this file, and this bishop is still not quite sure where to go, so there you go. Yeah, so knight a5, sorry, queen a5, knight e5 was interesting, but he didn't do that, so he played h3, and now I thought, well, what's going on here? What exactly is he doing? I said, like, okay, well, he's not doing anything here. Actually, I'm still not sure what h3 was supposed to gather. Maybe against knight g4 or bishop g4 or something. I'm not sure. But I totally fell asleep here. So he has, I mean, look, no offense to anybody here, but it's not about my opponent. It's simply about his position. Like, how many active possibilities does he have? Knight, this knight, where exactly is it going? Knight a4, or over knight a4 I always have some kind of a rook b4 ideas, because the rook is there. So I have always have something with white, with blacks, and everything. I'm actually covering a lot of squares here. Queen c5 I'm never really sure about. Of course now I'm covering it, but even if he doesn't do it, yeah, so all of this, like the only active, I mean, maybe it's a bit oversimplifying, but the only active possibility he has is knight e5 to knight c6. This knight isn't doing anything. It's not exactly rocket science to figure this out. Knight e5 to knight c6. This is his threat, and if it's possible, I actually made it stronger, because I played rook d8, and now after knight e5 I'm already a bit stuck, and you can see already the computer is thinking. Now yeah, bishop d7 is what I thought, but bishop d7 is just so ugly that, like, suddenly the whole position is turning upside down, and now I'm actually defending. So I didn't want to do that, so I actually found some kind of a weird defense. It's not actually a defense, but I played knight d5. It's actually, as far as you can see, like you can see there, it's kind of crap, but let's see what I had in mind. This actually roughly calculated. After knight c6 I played knight c3. Actually, bishop c3 is interesting, but I didn't do that. So I played knight c3, and he took, right? He took my queen, and now after bishop d3, what I thought was that, so let's say he moves his queen, right? Then I can take this, and if he took this, now this is mating one. So actually he can't do that. He would need to do something else, but actually instead of king takes f1 he just has knight c6, and it's not obvious what he's doing. So I can play this or whatever, he just takes, and I don't have a very good discovery here, and I don't have you know, perpetual or anything with black. So that was a bit of a pity here, but so after actually bishop takes c3 may be interesting, actually. So this is one of the things that I've seen, that sometimes in the Grunfeld actually you have this very weird material inequalities where one side kind of sacrifices the queen or something But yeah, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, so if I take this, then I have just two pieces for the queen. So it's definitely not enough. As you can see, it's +4. So I mean, this is not that Stockfish endorses this sacrifice. It's that Stockfish thinks that it's the relatively best thing I can do. Yeah, I have one pawn, that's true, but it's not really enough. So what did I do? After knight c3, he took, that's true. But here actually he just decided on giving up his queen. So he just gave up his queen. But as it turns out, this is already, this is still like a piece for him. A piece for 2 pawns, that's true. So bishop c3, rook a2. And now, actually, I mean, we can go a few more moves, but it doesn't really matter too much. So he has a piece up, and the problem is here that that my pawns are really bad here. So my this is not a very easy construction to defend here with black. So actually, the whole game kind of finished here. And he did end up losing. He did end up winning this. So I mean, we can go through it very quickly. Basically, maybe the best strategy I would have is to try to win this pawn here on a3. So it's kind of known that, of course, like the less pawns you have, the more your drawing chances are. That's usually true. But also that if you have pawns on only one side of the board, in this case the king side, then that may make it easier to draw. So let's say I had, although yeah, that's still pretty easy. So I think I would need to have something like to win maybe even a pawn somewhere here. So maybe like 3 against 2 on the king side and the piece down. Maybe there I have some kind of chances, but it's not super easy. But I should definitely go for this a3 pawn, and I didn't really do that, and that proved to be kind of decisive. Bishop d4, rook c2, rook b3, now bishop e3. I decided to take. He took back with the pawn, which is, of course, he didn't want to give up a3. But here he gave me kind of some kind of hope here against this weakness. f5 is what the computer suggests, probably rightly so, because that fixes his weakness. f takes e3, rook d3 I played. So now I'm kind of pushing both of these pawns, kind of pressuring both of those pawns. King f2, f5. So of course, initially I had some kind of a variation in mind in which I'm taking over the second rank or the first rank, but he covered both of those ranks, and in that case it's a bit tough. King e2, king g7, rook d1. I didn't want to exchange there. I'd rather exchange here. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't really matter, honestly. Rook d3, king f2, king f6, a4, here. Yeah, this pawn is advancing, so actually I have some kind of an issue with this pawn already. I decided to push this pawn a bit. I mean, you can see it's kind of +2-ish, so it's not totally winning yet, although I mean it's not like it's a draw, so it's definitely, objectively is definitely winning, but he still has some kind of a task ahead of him, and I did try to activate my position. King e2, this, rook d2, back. I think he played it this way. dd2. King here, king there. h4. Rook e2. I thought, oh well, you know what? I'm gonna exchange some pawns. He kind of obliged. The computer is still not exactly convinced, which of course it's not. Took. Now I'm attacking this pawn, this knight, and suddenly I thought maybe I have some chances here, but that didn't materialize at all. So knight d6, rook a3. I thought, well, maybe I'm gonna get this pawn back, but that didn't work out at all. Rook check there, rook check here. Now if I come to h6, then it's actually almost mate. So I shouldn't do that. Sorry, I need to go to h5 in principle, but king h5, then he comes rook, sorry, knight f7, and it's rook g5 mate next. So that's not good. I can show you. This is mate in 1. Well, other than giving up my rook in a move. So that's not good, so I came to f6. King f6, and now very quick stuff. Knight c4 back. This knight on c4 is very strong. It's such a good piece, and he took so good, such good care of it. King e3, g5. It's almost over by now. Here, rook a4. Yeah, rook d5, king d5, rook b4. Trying to cut off the king. Rook e4, rook b3, rook e3. Now computer wants to take, but of course that's suicide, because he just very easily rounds up all these pawns here. Rook e3, rook b1, rook e6, king f5, rook takes, yeah, and now it's king f4, rook takes again, king g3, knight e3, where actually I had this king f2 move, which was maybe interesting, but I didn't do that. I played this one, covers this one again, back to c4, so strong. This one, and now rook e4, and I have nothing to do. Rook e4, and now he's gonna actually just play rook g4, check, rook takes g5, and he's gonna round up all my pawns. So that was it. I lost with black. That's a bit tough, but it's the way it is. Yeah, he did play a good game, but yeah, it was a bit maybe giving up kind of easy at some point. But yeah, this knight e5, I mean this basically this rook fd8 was my main mistake. So h3, rook fd8, and after this knight e5 I don't really mind losing like this. So yeah, knight bishop d7, I mean this can't be a good move. Now suddenly I am kind of lost for space here, and I will be under pressure constantly, and look at these pawns. So I don't want to play like this. This was kind of an adventure that totally didn't pay out. So yeah, that's kind of one of the games, and let's see if the other one happened. Went a bit better. So I played the game again with black, so 2 in a row with black. Actually this guy was definitely a kind of a decent player. He played e4. I am playing the Sicilian this season. Oops, no, not this. Where is the not computer? Yeah, this one, yeah. So sorry, d6. Need to check. So this is the last round of this tournament, right? Last round, I had some kind of yeah, out of contention totally, but still an interesting game. And my opponent, it was an interesting play, the way he played it. This is the Najdorf, not much to say here. He played bishop e3, e5, knight back, bishop e6. Actually, now I read that I'm supposed to start with bishop e7 and not bishop e6. I mean, if you're gonna exploit that, I mean, that's awesome, but there you go. Castles, bishop e7, and now he played bishop f3, which is, I mean, it's not like a very good move, let's say. It's very passive, but on the other hand, like I do want to play d5 at some point, and it will be tough from now, right? Bishop f3, castles, bishop g5. So he wants to take this knight and put something on d5. So this is a very simplistic way white can play, but I still need to do something against it. So knight d7 is like a classical Najdorf move. This is where the knight belongs usually. Knight queen d2, b5. So actually, yeah, rook fd1 is what he played, and this was kind of a novelty, quote unquote. So of course this is not like a main line after bishop f3 anymore. But let me just show you one example game that I found. So it went rook ad1. It should be kind of the same thing. And now black already played b4. So actually black is playing very, very actively, because basically d5 is out of the question. So now white needs to black needs to look for a counterplay elsewhere. Knight e5, knight e2. This was some kind of a 2200-ish players, I think, or at least black was 2200-ish, which is good enough for me. So b4, knight e2, a5, and basically this is what black's plan is. And now this knight is under pressure. Knight g3 he played. Now rook c8, knight f5. Yeah, pretty sure he just chopped it off. And a4. And let me look at this position. This is pretty sure it's very good for black. Knight a1. Yeah, I mean, if white needs to play knight a1, then it's pretty obvious that it's a bad thing. Of course, this knight g3 to f5 is a questionable maneuver, maybe, but white needed to do something. And now, I mean, just look at these two pawns. I mean, before, you know, white was playing against d6, this was the big question. Can white play against d6? Well, by now it's extremely obvious that you can't, right? So you have, yeah, a very good play here. I don't know, we can continue this a bit. e4, right? Bishop e2, d5. Look at this. Who is white here and who is black is not very obvious. And I can play b3 whenever I want. This knight is totally stuck. If this knight wants to get out, white will need to play c3 when I can just take, and I have a weakness there, ready-made weakness. So this must be very good for me. And like, compare this to what I did, right? Rook fd1, and now I played b9, b6, which is actually kind of a weird move. Yeah, I should have played b4 basically, or you know, just play normal moves. Queen c7. Knight, Queen c7, Rook c8, and now I'm threatening b4 and so on. So that's definitely what I should do. Knight b6 has an issue, so he can take, and now I don't want to play take with the pawn. Then this issue is, so if I take, then d6 is kind of hanging. Now I did take with the bishop. The thing is, if he takes with the queen, then I take and play knight c4. Let's just put it on the board. And I think this is probably even better for me, honestly, because he will stay here with his weakish pawns, and this knight will have no stable position. Actually, this he wants to sacrifice the exchange, which is kind of cool and everything, but let's not go there. Let's just assume that he's not doing anything special. Yeah, so actually it's a lot better for what? Yeah, it's kind of a counter attack. Yeah, let's just come back. Let's play normal chess for once. Yeah, and this is already good for me. So he definitely didn't want to do this, but he still has some pressure here, right? He played knight a5 just like the computer says, and now this is a very funny, weird weird line. I have to show it to you. So this is actually what he did. So knight a5, and now I didn't play rook c8. This is a very weird move, but let me just show you, because I still don't know what's going on. So takes, no, sorry, this one. Now he should kind of take, right? Yeah, this queen doesn't have another square, right? So this diagonal is taken, and then I will get a rook for this bishop, basically. So he's gonna take, and now bishop takes d8, and now apparently this is a line. Rook d6, bishop, rook, this. So if he deviates, let's say he deviates by doing this, then I have knight a5 discovery. Knight c6 is yeah, knight c6, rook b2 hitting the rook. That's one of the, sorry, knight b2 hitting the rook. This is one of the reasons why you're not supposed to go to d1. You're supposed to go to d2 apparently, which is what the repetition was, right? And if he goes, yeah, rook away or whatever. Bishop a5. I mean, okay, I mean, this is a tough line to calculate, I would say. Knight a4. If he ever takes, then, I mean, look at this. This is terrible for him, right? Not only did I win a pawn. Oh wait, I didn't win a pawn, but I will win now, right? This you can't really cover. You can only cover something like this, and yeah, I mean, he's not even gonna try to cover this. So this is a very weird thing, and I couldn't, like, you can try to deviate in 15 different ways, and there are some other draws as well. So this is a really stupid, weird line. So I didn't do that. Knight a5, and now I didn't know what to do, so I played knight c8, which is kind of a clumsy move, but I thought, well, it's just for a few moves, so of course he can come in. So knight b7 is a bad move. I just kind of chase away the knight, and the queen is in the way. So if he does this, if he takes, then I have rook d8, right? So this is not a good idea. If he takes, I think I just yeah, just take, and who cares? And yeah, I won a piece already, so I don't need to do any switch and Zug anywhere. And these pawns are remarkably vulnerable. So yeah, there you go. Knight b5, queen b6. So this is not something he wants to do. What he did do was knight d5, which is still kind of good. Yeah, bishop g5 was interesting, but I didn't do that. So knight d5 I took. He took with a queen, which is kind of cool. So he's attacking the rook. I can't take the knight, but the knight is still unprotected. So I thought, you know what I'm gonna do? Knight b6 for some reason I didn't like, but this one I liked. Knight e7. It's still kind of equal. So he's going back. He needs to cover his knight, and now I still can play queen b6, and I'm still covering d6 because the knight is hanging. So if he ever plays like knight b3, then I'm fine. I'm just gonna cover the pawn. So for now, it just about looks like I'm hanging on, and this pawn. So he's not winning a pawn here, after all. He played c4. Apparently, yeah, b4 was better here, but I just decided to ignore this for now and play rook fd8. So finally I'm covering this pawn. Not really sure. So b4, I'm not really sure I trust that, but of course you should trust the computer more than you trust me. That's kind of established. But rook fd8, rook a c1, and now what I played here, b4, attacking the knight again, right? Coming back, and now knight c6. So now my knight is also active. And of course, he can't take the pawn because I'm covering it with a rook. Knight c6, and queen d5 he played now. where actually, yeah, maybe knight, bishop e7 and bishop f8 is probably a good idea, but I didn't do that, sadly. Bishop e7 is actually an interesting move, which I should have considered, but I didn't do that. I just played a5, which is kind of my plan all along. c5, I should take, and he took with a queen. And now this is kind of the important moment of the game. Sorry for showing you the evaluation. Here I thought to myself, look, okay, he's kind of putting a little bit of pressure on you. On c6, on a5, on b6. There's a little bit of pressure, but I sat down and I thought to myself, look, I'm sure if you do these exchanges in a proper order, you can find a draw. I'm 100% sure, and actually it's true. You can get a draw. So actually I have basically two candidate moves: rook takes d1 check or queen takes c5. If you wanna pause the video and decide, I mean, maybe you saw it already, but if you do want to try, then feel free to do so now or whenever. Of course, I don't need to pause myself. This is the trick, so you can always just pause the video and do it yourself. I played rook takes d1 check, and this is actually not good. This is the wrong capture. I sat there for 10 minutes. I thought to myself, if I do the right recapture, if I do the right capture, I will manage a draw, and it's actually totally true. So let me show you how you draw this. So if I take knight takes is just a disaster, right? If he takes with the knight, I get d4 for my knight, and that can't be the idea. So he needs to take with the rook, and now instead of moving the knight and dropping a5, I can play a4, and now when he takes, I can take, he can take, right? Exchange, and of course I can't play rook a1 because he has checkmate. But now a very simple move: bishop b4, bishop e7 covering b4. And how exactly is white gonna do anything in this position? There's really literally nothing he can do. This pawn I can cover twice, or however many times it takes, and I can cover all these pawns with my king and my bishop probably. So this is a total draw. I'm pretty sure actually that he would have taken a draw. Like, even if he, let's say he plays something like, okay, well, not this, yeah. Oh yeah, he needs to do something against this threat actually. So rook c1, yeah, that's also a very important thing. So let's say, well, okay, so ignore these moves, right? So of course I have rook a1 check where bishop f1 is forced, but let's say I don't do that. Then maybe he has something with like bishop c4. Okay, let's say he does do g3 and I just ignore what he's doing. Then he might have something with like bishop c4. Yeah, but even here, yeah, what exactly am I doing? Yeah, I don't think this is an issue at all. So these pawns are just blocked, and that's the main point. Let's ignore any details in case this is actually totally lost for me. Let's ignore them. But I think it's not. Yeah, and the thing is even that b2 is very weak, right? So b2 is weak because b2 can't be protected by his bishop. b4 I can always protect. So that's the main point here. So a4, and the main point is, and I actually saw a line like this, but I don't know what I thought here. So of course he can take this, it doesn't matter, right? He can take it. It's basically, oh yeah, this is the main point. Yeah. So I take with the rook, and now when he takes, I play a4, and now suddenly he's not winning a pawn at all. So if he takes, yeah, if he moves the knight, then even, is this better for me? No, it's not. So this is a total draw now. Basically, this was the one big test for me in the position. Although he did give me a few headaches here and there, but this was the main thing: in which order I take these pieces, and I took the wrong thing. So I actually I actually sat there and I thought for a while, and then I chose the wrong capture. So this, he can take now with the bishop, and when I take, he takes. Now the thing is, so I saw something, yeah. I saw something, and I can show you what I saw. But yeah, so basically the point is, if I play a4 now, as before, if he takes, I take, then he can take with the bishop, and this is like a totally different position. Yeah, these two pawns are a lot better than the pawn here and the pawn here and the pawn here. So that's kind of illogical, right? So that's a bad thing. A takes b3, bishop takes b3. So knight, so that's bad, right? Yeah, I got a message from Windows, but I'm not gonna kind of look at it right now. So what I saw was, and I did do this, right? Rook d8. So now I'm attacking the bishop, and I thought it would go something like this. So he needs to move the bishop, right? Well, yeah, needs to move the bishop, let's say here. Now I can kick the bishop with my knight. Now if he takes, well, yeah, so he can't take the pawn with the rook. That's pretty obvious, because then I'm taking the bishop. If he takes the pawn like this, and of course this is checkmate, so he can't do that either. But of course he can take my knight. And then I thought, well, come on, this must be a draw for me, and it is a draw. This is a total draw, and of course I'm also taking this pawn here. So this is a total draw. If in case you're wondering, yeah, there you go. I don't even think that this +01 makes any sense. So I'm even threatening a bit something here. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I can push now. Yeah, in the end, yeah, it's gonna be some kind of a opposite color stuff. And how exactly are you gonna win this with any color? There's no way. Equal pawns and opposite color bishops, so this is a draw. On the other hand, yeah, rook takes is interesting, but of course I thought of this, but now he has bishop d3, and this is super annoying. This is super annoying. I'm not sure he would have found this. Well, he didn't find this. He didn't play this at all. And now this is a tricky ending. I have this stupid bishop now, and he has all the trumps. So he has an open bishop on both sides. He has, his king is easier to get into the game, and yeah, let's say I come, yeah, here. He might actually win a pawn anyway. I don't know why he's not taking. Okay, so it's still a tricky ending for him to win as well, but this is definitely tricky for me. Super annoying, yeah. So this is why bishop c2 would have been a good move for him. And I kind of calculated, I think when I took the rook, I kind of saw something like this. I'm, you know, like my calculation is usually goes like, okay, I think this is the way it is, but even if it's not, then I can kind of course correct on the way, which is fine. I mean, in the previous one it didn't really work out. So it was a bit, obviously a bit tricky, but here I kind of thought, yeah, it's okay, but I still actually I saw this bishop d1, which I thought, oh my god, that's actually annoying, because this a4 is not gonna work anymore. But then I went for it anyway, which I'm not sure why, so it was a bit tricky. Okay, so actually what happened in the game was a lot more prosaic than this. So what happened was, yeah, rook d8, and now he played rook c1, and actually bishop g5, and I offered a draw because actually now he needs to protect the bishop, which means that he needs to go with his rook to the corner. And now, if anybody's better, it's me. But if I'm better by anything, it's by really like a hairbreadth. Like now, it's really just, you know, just totally symmetric position. So like I can try like a4, but he has like knight c5, a3. Takes, and now suddenly his rook is active again. So that's a bit of a stupid move. But yeah, I just offered him a draw. I was pretty sure he would take it, and he did take it. So this was the end of the game. So bishop g5, a draw. So it was a last game, and I wonder if I can bring up a new like the final thing. Not this, but yeah, this is the final result. And I finished 13th out of 27, so 1678 is not maybe great, but I actually got my German rating now, and that is 1700 and something, 1700 and a little bit more, and my performance was 1829. So I actually drew, let me see if I can get it again. Just a sec. So I actually played only against people who are well, except for one guy. I played against Wolfgang Grimm, but other than that, so I drew number 6, Ulrich Schmidt, so 2100 guy. I won against, so the second round I didn't play. I won against Wolfgang Grimm, as mentioned. Then I drew against actually Thomas Vogt, who's again 2100, which is kind of cool. Drew against Raymond Schott, who's the organizer, about 2000 guy. And then, yeah, I lost against number 8. Yeah, this guy. Again, no, I don't want to say that he's not a good player, but he definitely didn't play well against me, honestly. So that's all I can say. You can look at that video again. I didn't play better than him either, so I kind of deserved to lose at some point. And now I lost. I drew against Rolf Moiser, so 1800 something. Yeah, I guess it was an interesting tournament, the whole thing, all of these draws. So actually, this one I think you didn't see. Queen's India with white. This game was a lot of fun. Check it out. This is a draw in which I should have pushed with white, and I just decided on drawing, and actually it was even a wrong decision because he could push, but I was actually pretty sure I could keep it, and I did. Draw against number 7. This was like he was totally winning at some point. You can check it out. I think I tried to put all the links in the description in case you're wondering where they are. Yeah, this was really embarrassing with this rook ending, in which I could have just simplified to 2 against 1, and I didn't. I simplified to 0 against 2, so that's not the best simplification. And then this draw, which was more or less equal the whole time, only that I didn't play actively, so that was a bit bad. I saw that he's a bit passive, but I should have then taken over with this b5, b4, a5, a4, and have some pressure, and I didn't. So that's the way it is. I had some fun. Yeah, drawing is not something that I particularly averse to. I mean, you can kind of tell here, but yeah, I don't know what to say. It's kind of a sickness, but I also don't want to avoid drawing because it's I feel a lot stupider when I lose after avoiding a draw than if I draw when I avoided a win, although it should be kind of equal, right? Anyway, well, thanks for watching, and yeah, oh yeah, one more news is actually in 2 weeks. Yeah, in 2 weeks I'm gonna play a chess tournament, and that will be 7 rounds in 4 days. Actually, double rounds on most of the days, and it will be a bit of a pressure on me, but I promise to show all the games, and I will show all the games, even if they're really, really bad. So I will have 7 games unless I have some kind of a bye, which would be pretty bad. But it's kind of a huge tournament. It's like has 500 people in it, and just yesterday I signed up, and yesterday they also said that they're full. So they told me I can play, but just like an hour later they announced to everyone else that it's full. So there will be 500 people. I will be playing in the B tournament, which is like under 1900, and I will try to gather as many points as possible. Well, thanks for watching, and see you around.